What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. And as you can see, next week we got earnings. This is not the biggest earnings that we have, but there's some few players. You got Cisco, Walmart, Home Depot. So there's some few players that we can put our eyes on. But for now, let's get started with the video. Inflation is sticky at 3.2. June it was at 3%, but it's pretty sticky at 3.2. The Federal Reserve wants inflation rate at 2%. That's a normal average rate for inflation. That's what the Federal Reserve wants, and I do think it's going to be sticky. 3.2. Last in June it was 3%. Back in February this year we was at 6%. So they managed to fight inflation as the biggest enemy of Federal Reserve. And they're doing so by increasing interest rates and stop putting money in the market by quantitative easing. So as you can see, the stock market is pretty much down. The Nasdaq is down, and Nasdaq is the big player. So is Nasdaq going down, it will pull the S&P 500 down. And I have a video for you guys to share, and let's get ahead.
July employment report is showing a gain now of 187,000 jobs last month. That is below expectations of 200,000. The unemployment rate ticking down to 3.5%. We're of course also paying close attention to Apple and Amazon after both the tech giants reported quarterly earnings diverged a bit. Joining us right now to talk about all of this, Dan Niles, founder and senior portfolio manager at the Satori Fund. Good morning to you. Let's go broad first, given the jobs numbers, given maybe what you think the Fed is or isn't going to do as a function of it, and just the run, frankly, that the equity market has been on. Where are you broadly right now?
I mean, right now, it wouldn't surprise me to see a 10% correction between now and year end, because I think the main thing is you're now getting to much more difficult compares relative to inflation. CPI peaked at 9.1% in June of last year, and if you look at what's going on right now, you've got about 50% more job openings than people unemployed. Average hourly earnings are up 4.4%. You've seen all these strikes going on, and the big thing underneath this is oil is surging. It was down about $67 back in the middle of June. It's now over 80, and that feeds into a lot of costs. And then in addition to that, between what Japan's doing with yield curve control and the US Treasury having to go ahead and issue about $1 trillion this quarter, 850 billion in Q4, that's going to put upward pressure on yields, and that's really been a big driver of multiples expanding, because it hasn't been earnings. Earnings are down this year. It's the multiple. So we'll see what happens.
So let's take a look at yield. Yield is at 4.15%, and back in October last year it was at, let me see, it was at a peak of 4.3%. So with the current situation, I do think that we could lead back up to 4.3%, and when the yield is rising, it's pretty much not good for stocks. So let's take a look at the Nasdaq for one moment. The Nasdaq, where you at? So the Nasdaq is at 15,000 points, and if he's saying that we could be going down, there's more down momentum for at least 10%, that would suggest that the Nasdaq will go to 14,295. So there's a lot of big opportunity here for you guys for the next few months. We could see some more down momentum as of the Nasdaq, and if the Nasdaq is going down, it will pull the S&P 500 down. So that's something we should be considering. Let's continue.
How convicted are you that we're going to have a 10% effectively correction if that was the case? Well, I mean, on a relative basis to where we are you shorting things? What are you doing?
You got to remember, we run a concentrated portfolio. It's about 20 to 40 stocks, and so for us, it's about stock picking. So, you know, I'm long Amazon. It's the largest position in my fund, and that's with the backdrop where I'm concerned about this. But on the same side, we're short Apple. So for us, it comes down to stock.
Long Amazon, short Apple. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at these guys. Short Apple. Well, he's right. Apple is coming down lately. I do have a play, a bounce here at 175. We're currently at 177. So keep in mind, guys. Next month there's gonna be launch of the iPhone 15. So that could be also an upwards momentum. So keep that in mind. That could be a good play. But to be honest, for long games, as Gary Soloway said, Apple is too expensive. It should go at least down here back to 150 for some long positions. So that's the game that I'll be playing. I'm waiting for Apple to come down. Now let's take a look at Amazon. So Amazon is pretty much the king of e-commerce. Back in 2021 and 2021 and 2022, it has an all-time high of 168. So yeah, there's a lot of upwards momentum still going on. It's a pretty strong play, but they did at a few red days, so it could be a good play. Let's continue.
Picking to get us through this. That's what had us making money last year in a very down tape for the market. That's what has us making money this year in an up tape for the market. So, you know, the multiple right now, Andrew, at 3% CPI, if you look back over 70 years of data, the average S&P multiple is 19 times. It's sitting at 21 times. So to get it just back to average, if you're worried about inflation maybe ticking up higher than what people think after 10 months of downside surprises to headline CPI, you know, that's a 10% correction in the multiple, which is a 10% correction in stock prices.
10% multiple, that's a 10% on the stock prices. So I love it, man. So this also one of my plays, Google, pretty much the king of advertising. So it's a very interesting place ahead of us. Also, what I want to share is 36% of Americans have more debt than emergency savings. This pretty something astounding to see that they pretty much are living from paycheck to paycheck, and it's getting pretty hectic there in the States. So you can see all the information that Dan Niles is sharing on his website, danielniles.com, and he also had some few points that he want to share. Don't fight the Fed, don't fight the fundamentals, and as he was saying, he has top 5 picks for 2023. The first is cash in 3-month T-bills and XLV energy. What we have seen is that because of inflation, a lot of money is going to another sector, and one of these sectors is health and energy, and it's pretty doing good. So I would suggest to you guys to go check these numbers out, go check these sectors out to do some hedge. Because of the current situation of inflation, the money is getting pretty much less, has less value these days. So, and he also shares that he could see a recession in combination with a crash, and the Fed is not printing money. So he suggests a bear market that's accompanied by a recession typically results in an S&P decline of 40%, indicates that we have not seen the lows for this downturn yet. 3,000 is our single point of estimated S&P value in the scenario, with 2,400 being our downside case. So he's pretty telling us that we're going down, we're going to crash. But as you can see, it's the same as the psychologic. As you can see, we pretty much get put 2 and 2 together, and we see that the psychology of the market is also same. But as you can see, I can put them together. Let's just put them together for now. Let's just put it together. So as you can see, this the psychology of the market cycle, and it's the same as the S&P 500. So we had a disbelief band, and now we're going back. So it's the same as the psychology of the market, And I do think that's something that you need to manage to be aware of. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We keep it hot, we keep it banging. Peace.